Welcome back to the Daily Sales Briefing, Selling in a Crisis. I'm Jeb Blunt, CEO of Sales Gravy and the author of Fanatical Prospecting, Sales EQ, Inked, and Objections. Our topic today is what to do when an existing customer comes to you and asks for a price decrease. And this can also extend to asking for changes in terms and conditions, or the way that they take delivery of your product, or asking you to hold back on the delivery, etc. So this is going to happen in a crisis because in a lot of cases, the buyers that are calling you under a lot of pressure from their organization to find ways to cut cost. And in a lot of cases, they're just blanketing everybody. They're just calling everybody and saying, I need to get money back. I need a refund for this. I need to get a price decrease, etc. When this happens, the first thing to do is, instead of getting angry or getting stressed out or getting anxious, just step into the person's shoes you're dealing with. In a lot of cases, they're not the person that is looking for the price decrease. They've gotten that order from someplace else. So a CEO or someone who's running a P&L, someone at the top of the food chain, is pushing down and saying, go find things. And of course, if they go find money, they get a pat on the head or a pat on the back, and it's helping them save their job. So don't get mad at the person. Don't kill the messenger. Step into their shoes and just understand where they're coming from. And also understand that for them, it's uncomfortable for them to come to you, especially if they have a relationship, coming to you asking for a price increase, or a price decrease. But just keep in mind that in a lot of cases, they're just getting orders across the board to cut everything or to stop everything when they're not thinking about the consequences. And the message sometimes can get a little bit screwed up along the way. The next thing to do is, when you get that call, is don't try to deal with it right there on the spot. Now, don't ignore it and don't avoid it. Let the person know that you heard them, and then schedule another call to come back and talk about it, because you need some time to think. You need some time to formulate a plan. And in your plan, what you want to be able to do is walk your customer through the reasons why, A, what you're selling them is worth it, because you don't want to take a hit if you don't have to. Or B, what might be the unintended consequences of making a decision like this. So if they reduce the span of services, or the array of services, if they stop an order, if they reduce their prices so that you can't provide a service to them that you were doing before, they have to understand this. And this is important because if you can help them have a case for going back to their boss and saying, this is not where we should cut, then you can turn them into an advocate for you. But you need some space to build a plan. You also want to make sure that you're gathering some testimonials, especially with long-term relationships. You want to reach into the organization and find the people that are advocates for you, people who have had past experiences. If you've won any awards, for the company's handed out like Vendor of the Year. If you have inside coaches who use your product or service and really need you and willing to back you up, you want to get those folks on your side. In a lot of cases, especially if you're dealing with purchasing, you want to get all that information, that evidence, and you want to give it to them, because they may not know. All they see is you're a vendor and they need you to cut their prices so that they can save some money. So you need to make sure that you're able to give them the case for all the things that you're doing for them to help them understand the value. And that's part of having the plan. And finally, what I do is I like to make it personal. I want them to understand the impact on me as the salesperson. So if you cut your service, cut your prices, suspend orders, what happens to me and my family? And I want them to know that, because this is real. So if they're cutting, it's going to hurt me at some point and hurt the other people in my organization. So it's not to say that that's going to keep them from asking for the price increase, or the price decrease, excuse me. But at the same time, if I'm building a case, if I can show them what I'm actually doing for them, and I can make them feel empathetic toward me, they're more likely to go find another vendor or more fertile ground to ask for that price decrease. Finally, make sure that you don't let your ego get in the way. In some cases, it may be the right thing to do to decrease your prices, reduce your service, change things up in the short term in order to save the relationship. So you want to make sure while you're building your plan that you're being thoughtful and intentional, and you're thinking through what might be the right thing to do. And the best time to address that, by the way, is proactively before they come to you. So if you've got customers out there where you can help them cut and you can help them reduce their costs, maybe now is the time to go reach out and have a conversation with them before they ask you, rather than waiting until you're being reactive. That is the daily sales briefing. And do we have any questions? We got nothing? All right, everybody. Well, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow at noon and bring your questions.